Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
This is my final maths-related interview.
What sort of villain gets that?
It's Australia's reaction.
It's an
This
exclusive.
is an exclusive. That's hitting the cutting room floor, bro.
Caused a lot of drama and it never got aired. It just went nuts.
Yeah. Hello, darling.
What's up?
We're back, girl. I thought I'd just take a different approach. yeah.
I like that.
I don't know where I got that from, but we're good. How's your energy out of 10?
Oh my God, 10 out of 10
I like
as
that, girl.
always.
I like that. You brought me some prime, so I'm
Yes.
11
Prime
out of 10.
in the house.
Yeah, listen, man. We've got a pretty big day and a
Yes.
pretty big guest in.
Huge.
We got Josh Moss in the building.
Yes.
Come on now.
Biggest, brightest, bluest eyes I've ever seen. I'm getting lost in them. I'm choking up.
Whoa. Damn. I've never heard you say anything about my brown eyes, but it's all good. I get it.
Dude,
Nah,
I
but it's
do.
all good. Listen, for those of you guys that don't know who Josh Moss is, Josh was on season 1 of Love Island Australia, and he paved the way for us, man. For me,
pioneer.
absolutely. Guys, before we get into this episode, I want to remind you guys that we are recording on Gadigal land, and buckle up and let's get ready for a good episode.
Woo!
Joshy, welcome to the studio, my man.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm actually so pumped from that. Like
Yeah.
that was. I need you, Selina. I need you following me around everywhere I go. Just give me that intro every
Yep.
time I meet someone.
In your handbag.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Listen, that's the first time I've ever heard her introduce any of our guests like that. So I'm like, whoa, she's
The
swimming in
hype
those
is
blue eyes.
real.
The hype is-
The hype is real.
You've kind of like left me a bit speechless. Thank you so
Well,
much.
I
Appreciate
have
it.
a little secret and a little confession.
Wow.
Because I was actually meant to be on your season of Love Island.
No way.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, hold up. We kind of want you more as a bombshell now. So stay tuned, like see who you like. And I was sussing you and Elias.
Wow. That's the tea right
Yeah,
there.
that's
Oh my
a little tea
god.
for you this
and
morning.
what happened? What happened? How come?
And then it got to the point where I'm like, okay, it's getting later and later now. They're forming more relationships and bonds. And then they sent me an email going, look, if we still want you, we're only going to give you, I think it was like 48 hours notice before you need to like pack everything up, drop everything and get on a plane to Spain. And I was like, I can't do that. I just had way too many commitments with work and it didn't align at the time. But now look at us.
Come on now.
We's here.
Fate's brought us back together. You know what can I say? I'm a big believer in that.
But so tell me something, man. So before going on to Love Island, like obviously like you like watched Love Island UK or maybe USA like before you went on. So you knew what you were getting into, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I had watched Love Island UK before I got on, and I'd only actually watched half the season until I was going for a walk in the park, and I go, I'm going to listen to a podcast, and my favourite podcast, all the episodes were out, so I clicked a random Nova 969 podcast, actually.
Oh,
Fitzy and
wow.
Whipper. Randomly clicked Fitzy and Whipper, heard, clicked one, Sophie Monk was on, and Sophie Monk was like, we've got a brand new show coming out in Australia, Love Island Australia. Do you want to go and do a European summer? Do you want to go live in a mansion? Do you want to go meet a boatload of hot singles? And I was like, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, man.
I was like, how good
What a way to
is
sell
this?
it.
And then I went home after the walk and I thought, if I'm going to apply, I'm going to go all in. I spent like 2 days on the application.
Yep.
Sent in a bunch of photos, and then one thing happened after the other, and kept getting through the levels and kept
Wow,
gaining confidence. And I mean, the application video is very cringeworthy.
Yeah,
but
I know. Hey,
We know that too
I
well.
remember mine, but yeah, I feel you.
have you guys shown each other your application videos?
Hell no.
Nah.
Wait, what was it?
They scouted me for your season though. I was off my face at a boat party and they just docked and we went into the club and then they came up to me and they're like, well, look, we're scouting for this new show. But I didn't know what Love Island was back then.
Right.
But I still had to do the whole application
okay,
process,
still,
which
still,
is
still.
so cringe.
I actually do want to see your video, hey. Yeah.
Okay, we had to all watch each
Yeah,
other's.
we'll have to see. Yeah, maybe after the show.
We'll do
How's
a
like
reaction.
the talent pool of where they're picking from? I was blind on a boat party, and they were like, perfect for Love Island. Absolutely amazing. You're great for the show. Like, come
Just
on.
what we're looking for. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Blind tick.
On a boat. Like, oh,
So
God.
man, listen, bro. This is like probably like it kind of hurt me because we had a moment before I walked on. You know what I'm saying? And you said something to me. I don't know if you remember this conversation that we had when I was in the tent, right? And when I was getting ready to walk out. And you said, listen, if any one of those girls step forward for you, just know that you're already doing a little bit better than I did on mine. You walked on, bro, and you seem so confident.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And for those people that don't know, with Love Island, you know, like there are 5 girls in front of you and they have to step forward if they're interested, right? But nobody stepped forward for you, bro.
So bad.
That hurt, man. Come on now. Tell me about how you feeling, bro. Like,
so before we went on day one of the show, we're in the tents. As you maybe the audience don't know, they basically get you there super early. They put you in individual tents, and you still don't really know what order you're going, what time you're going in. You're really left in the dark. And I had 2 or 3 of the big producers come into my tent, and they were like, "Joshy, you're hilarious. You're the man. You've got abs. You've got you're fake tan to the gills." I'm like, all right, you're kind of losing me a bit here. Like, you stop with that side of things. Like, trying to build my confidence up. They're like, "We're gonna send you in first, mate. We are confident every single girl here is gonna want to step forward." And I was kind of like, all right, like, these guys are professionals. Like, if they're thinking that, then they must know something. And then I was like, all right, let's do it. I'll go in first. Sent me in. Saw Sophie Monk. Was like shaking as I walked in because you guys, we've never done anything like that with cameras around. So walked in, saw all the girls, never seen them before, and my leg was shaking. I remember I was biting my lip, and I cut my lip because I was biting it so hard. I don't know, because I was just nervous, and I could feel the blood dripping like in my throat.
Shit.
Yeah. And then Sophie was like, "Here's Josh. He's 26, 25. You know, he's from Sydney, Australia, blah, 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 blah. Step forward if you like him." And in my head, I'm like, oh, like, you know, I think at least, you know, super like cocky or whatever. I was like, I reckon 4 are going to step forward. I'll accept, you know, maybe 3. I'll accept 2. And if 1 steps forward, like, it's a disaster. But I'll cop it. You know, Sophie goes, "Step forward if you want Josh." 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And then I look at Sophie and she's like, "It's so fine. Like, don't worry about it. Everyone's just getting to know each other." And I was like, giving the speech.
Man.
And then I had to pick someone when no one stepped forward. And I was going to pick Millie. I don't know if you guys remember the show.
Yeah.
I looked at Millie and she caught my eye first. And I was about to pick Millie. And Sophie goes, "Millie, why didn't you step forward for Josh?" And she was like, "Oh, I just don't really like blonde hair. It's not my thing." And I was like, well, that's just biggest like cop out. I was like, can't pick her now. I was like, I'll pick the beautiful girl in the yellow bikini, which was Taylor Demir. Cool. And that obviously ended in disaster. But that's, you know, and all my friends back home were all sitting by the couch and there was 20 of them, popcorn, pumped for Josh, and they said it was half of them were in tears of laughter and the other half were just like they all sent me the video, like, and I got it when I got out of the show. It was so bad.
Boy, and I feel like that's like the most daunting thing though, because it's like you kind of put on the chopping block, you know? Like, and it's cool, but when you still, you know, are gonna pick like whoever that's in the front, even though they didn't step forward for you, you're like, well, now I got to put in more work, more graft, because they're going to be more people coming in, and that wasn't your original choice. You know what I mean? So that's what hurt. But like for me, for example, I was there and then Ari stepped forward, right? I don't know if you guys remember Ari. So she stepped forward and I was like, well, I can't just leave you there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought she was dope though. So I was like, okay, fine, cool. Like, you know, like I'll just go with the girl that's, you know, standing.
Yep.
And then Ryan comes out, another dude comes in, and then she stepped forward for him. I was like, bro, was this a safety mechanism? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't, sort of thing.
And,
you know?
And for a while, like the first guy who walked in for a couple series after me wasn't getting picked. So I was like, oh, it's a first guy syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then the last few, 3 girls stepping forward first guy. I'm like,
exactly, man.
Far out. But, you know, it's the tough thing about that is there's so many cameras on you. You know, you think your confidence is kind of high because you're like, I've been picked for the show, you know, I'm here to date. And then instantly your confidence gets rocked.
Yeah.
And you're just
I
like,
think
this
we
is
can all relate on that on such a deep level. But what was your dating life prior to going on the show?
disaster.
Serious.
Disaster.
Come on now.
Like horrible. Like,
Really?
like nothing, like I was trying to find connections and stuff like that. But I think, you know, modern day times, especially with, you know, this swiping generation, it's so hard to find genuine connections and people's attention spans are so short. So, for me, like going on dates with girls or whatever, like some of them would be all right, but it would always just kind of like fizzle out after like, you know, a couple of weeks or whatever. So the main reason I went on Love Island was I was just like, I'm just going to try something different. Like, you know,
Definitely.
Yeah.
so,
Absolutely, man.
but yeah, disaster.
But you know what though? The thing is, like, things didn't really get any better from there. Like, you know, for a little while anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was watching, I was like, "Fuck me, my poor boy." And stuck out to the. What I was so proud of though was like, you know, you stuck out to the end. You know what I mean? And then that's when, you know, Amelia came in. You know, like, how did that make you feel though? Because it's like at one point you would have felt like leaving, right?
Yeah, man. There was a lot of stuff off camera that wasn't shown, obviously, and there was a point in the show where I gave up on the whole experiment or the whole like idea of it because I was just like, we're 4 weeks in and I haven't had anything genuine at all. And I was just like, at that point, it was good and bad, because I think that on these reality TV shows, if you find your person day one and you go all the way to the end, yes, it's amazing you found love, but it's a bit boring for the audience, So like,
you're right.
You don't necessarily want to find that the love of your life day one because the journey can be, it's different for everyone. But if you find that love on day one, it can be a little bit boring, for the audience. You kind of get lost in the system. So, I do believe everything happens for a reason. But I didn't have a girl in there, so I was just doing things to entertain myself. I was doing poems and I was playing pranks on people and telling people about like why the sun's so strong and just entertaining myself on a boredom level, dressing up in dresses and all sorts of weird stuff, which actually was great in the end.
It was entertainment.
It was entertainment. It was fun. I just tried to have fun on there.
Yeah, man was just there for the free food, bro. Don't worry. I was like that too, man. I can't lie to you. Things got sour for me as well. At one point I was really talking to my guy Chris, right? There's a guy that was there, his name is Chris Gordon. And I remember there was one point I was like, bro, I don't even know why I'm still here, bro. I know my bills is getting paid at home, but I ain't really having a good time. So, I think like it's just so crazy to just think about how, you really do take a chance on going on this show. And it's kind of like a flip of a coin, like it can go really, really good or really bad. But I think the good thing was when you stuck out to the end, when your girl came, things really turned around for you, bro. And I could definitely feel a shift in energy.
Huge. Even that scene, I will never forget it when she was walking, because you guys, they took you out for a boys' day at the beach. Do you remember? Yeah. And then they brought on the new bombshells. Yeah. And it was like this slow motion Baywatch. She was like in her bikini strutting. The wind was blowing in her hair. She was like in a moment. And your face, you were just like,
I was like,
Homer
literally,
Simpson.
I was gobsmacked. Like straight away, she caught my eye and I was like, wow. But it's so funny. Me and Jackson, because we didn't know what's happening. We just got taken in a van, and then in the van, the producer's like, all right, there's two girls that we're going to send you on a date with. One's blonde, one's brunette.
Yeah.
And me and Jackson were talking, and I was like, oh, bro, I want the blonde. But without even seeing them, like dumb chat. We're like, I want the blonde, and he's like, I want the brunette. And we're like, done, shook hands on it, like super dumb. And then as soon as we're on the beach, we whispered to each other. I was like, I've got the brunette, and he's like, I've got the blonde. So we swapped straight away.
Right.
And it was just great because instantly there was a connection there, and I hadn't had that on the show at all. So it was just really nice to actually find a connection on what is the purpose of the show, is to find someone. So you're seeing everyone falling in love around you, and that makes it exacerbates the situation, makes it 10 times worse because you're like, he's falling in love, she's falling in love, why isn't it happening to me? So finally to get it amongst that was great.
And then now fast track, like when you guys, got out, man, how did your relationship go, like, on the outside when you first got out?
Yeah, look, it was actually really, really good to have a partner leaving the show because you guys don't understand, when you leave the show, it's like a whirlwind, you walk into the show. Love Island's a little bit different to Maths because you're locked in the show. Well, ours was live, so we would film an episode, then it would go live the next day. So I was in Spain for like 8 weeks, and when I'd left, the show had already finished playing. Yeah. So we got back, and it was a whirlwind. Like, people are going crazy. People are coming up to you screaming for photos. Like, it was mental. So to have someone there that we could both lean on and support each other actually made us a lot stronger. And it was really good to just have someone there that genuinely cares for you. Because when you leave the show, a lot of people, they kind of treat you a little bit like a commodity, like an object. What can they extract from you? You've got this level of notoriety and fame and public profile. So people want to kind of extract a bit of that from you. So it's hard to work out who's genuine and who's not. So to have someone there that has your best interests at heart really actually helped us get stronger. But I know for other couples, it did the opposite, a lot of attention and from whatever can make them stray. And so a lot of stuff happened after the show as well.
Most definitely, man. Like that, but I think it would have definitely tested you guys, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Being in that moment, like, because a lot of people, like when they go in, everybody likes to say that we're on there for love, but we're going there for a sprinkle of clout as well too. You know what I'm saying? You go out and they're like, who are you?
Clout, what are you talking about? Oh, there it is, I'll take it.
Who's there for love, baby?
But I think like it was just, I don't know, you could really tell that you were there to find a connection.
You're trying for real.
Yeah, and then I guess you, like what you were saying before, it kind of, played to your, favor? Is that the right word?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You not finding that connection straight off the bat because we got to see more of your personality. I think that's what Australia fell in love with the most. And then when you found that connection, we were like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah, right.
But then that was towards more the end. So I was pleasantly surprised that you guys left together and lasted 4 years.
Wow.
The strongest couple that had left,
Yeah.
but they weren't the strongest when the show finished, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Yeah. There were other couples that were like madly in love
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we left, and they fell apart so
Straight
quickly.
away.
So quickly. I could have literally told you which couples are going to fall apart on
Well,
the finale
Eden and
day, but
Erin-
anyways, we'll leave that. There was a lot of stuff going on, you know.
Who's there for the bag?
Wow.
Yeah, like Grant Crapp had a secret girlfriend.
Yes!
That's confirmed. I know
remember
that
that,
he
man.
had that. And that was getting, because our show had obviously arrivals, they're called. I don't know what they're called in maths, intruders, whatever. But they
Yeah.
were coming from the outside world.
Yes.
And they were telling us information. And they kept coming in the same story. Grant's got a secret girlfriend that runs his business on the side. And we were like, what the hell? But then the producers kind of caught wind that we were all talking about. So then they came
Yeah.
in and they were throwing in other rumors to throw us off the scent. Like they were saying that Eden had a
Really?
secret girlfriend and
God damn.
Jackson, and they were saying all these other people had secrets. So we were like, oh, it's just, you know,
Yeah,
mumbo
yeah,
jumbo.
yeah.
But then Taylor started to catch on, like, because she's quite a smart girl.
Yes, yeah.
And she worked it out within less than 10 hours of leaving the villa that he had a girlfriend.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I think they hadn't even got off the plane yet.
Nah, she'd already worked it out. So
yeah, crazy.
Y'all
I
are
felt
really
for her, man.
FBI's, man. Y'all find it
yeah,
out.
some of you girls are like, you should
We are
actually work for
onto
the
it.
FBI.
I'm telling you, boy.
Like, get off Instagram and use those skills to
We
get
would
paid.
dominate for sure.
Are
Nothing
you good at
goes
that,
past it,
Selena?
man. I'm telling you.
I'm all right.
You want something found out, you go to her.
Yeah.
So my man, so like, okay, so 4 years, man. Like it was beautiful, like seeing you. You guys were like, you know, man, like the Love Island couple.
Couple
You know what I'm
goals.
saying? The couple goals. You know what I mean?
Literally.
And tell me about the demise of the relationship, bro. Like,
Yeah, so we were going against the percentages. Like no one was meant to work out, so we lasted a long time. Towards the end, we were just different people than when we first entered the relationship. Like you grow as you
Most
get older,
definitely,
obviously,
yep.
and we just had different, like, I guess, morals and goals. And you know, she wanted to do a lot of traveling and kind of live like freely like that, and I'm more like, you know, I want to try and work towards building, I don't know, a career, or I like structure and stuff. I love traveling as well. But by the end, we were just different people, and we both realized that it wasn't going to work. You know, we both wanted different things. So it ended super amicably. Like we were in a really good place when it ended. And then very quickly the wheels fell off. And now it's now we're not in a good place at all. So
So speaking about traveling, because she went away just before you guys broke up.
yeah.
Was there any form of turbulence before she left within the relationship? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we weren't in a good place for like the last 6 months of the relationship. You know, we were getting into a lot of arguments. We weren't seeing eye to eye on a lot of things. So like, yeah, the writing was on the wall essentially. Of it wasn't going to work out long term. And then she went away to America, and like, you know, everything I say now is my perspective because she's going to click it at me when I start talking about it. But whatever, like it is what it is. There was a lot of rumors that she cheated on me in America at Coachella, which it's not true. She didn't cheat on me at Coachella. So we just got back, and there was no huge scandal. You know, no one cheated. No one, I don't know, was abusive or whatever. So it just didn't work out in the end. But yeah, when she got back from her trip to America, like she was back for 2 or 3 days, and then she got home from dinner and she basically said, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, look, I agree with you. Like, I'm not happy either. So, yeah.
but it's just like the timeline of events, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it's like you go to America for a little bit, you have a good time, you come back, and like you kind of made up your mind. So I can understand like the suspicions. How do you know that she didn't cheat on you, though?
I mean, I'm taking her word for it, and I took her word for it, and she had a lot of friends there and stuff. But I personally don't think she did.
She'll do something like that.
I don't think she did something like that. But before she went to America, she also then booked a Bali trip before she went to America for like 10 days with her friends without me. And I was like, all right, that's a little strange. Like you booked a Bali trip, and I was like, oh, am I like, do you want me to
Invited?
come? And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, it's just like me and my friends. And I was like, all right, like I guess. And I was like, that's a little strange. So then, but no, it's all good. Like, but because I had a conversation about this on my podcast, the handbags, and she thinks that this is disrespect, me talking about her cheating. But I'm saying I don't think she cheated. So, but yeah. So and when we broke up, we were amicable, super friendly, and in a good place. And now, like I don't hate her at all. Like I actually like her. I wish her the best. I hope she, this new guy, I hope she's like marries him and has kids. Like I got no ill will towards her. So I genuinely hope that she kills it with whatever she does. But I don't know if the same energy comes back at me.
Okay.
And yeah, kind of the wheels fell off and we're not in a good place now. So
Do you think, and this is just me because there's a lot of testosterone in the room today, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to like, from a woman's point of view,
yeah.
I feel like it takes a lot for us to express our wants and needs. Do you feel like within the relationship of 4 years that she tried to tell you what she needed from you and you were still loving her in the way that you knew how to at your capacity? Because there's nothing like meeting your soulmate to really see your wounds and your capacity to love.
No, definitely. No, 100%. And maybe there is too much testosterone in the room. We need to try and turn that down.
So do you think, she just kept trying? And the last thing that we want to feel as a woman is a nag. Like we want to be your happy place. You know what I mean? We want to have you on that trip with us. But then it gets to a point where we don't want to keep talking about our wants and needs and like, babe, you're still not understanding what I'm trying to say. Then you start bickering. And then she's like, fuck it, I'm just going to go on a girls trip, get away, clear my head for a little bit, come back. And you're like, damn, man, he's still not getting it.
Wow.
So like, I feel like women check out a lot sooner than when the relationship actually ends.
No, definitely. And I'm like mature enough to easily admit that I was not perfect. I definitely made a lot of mistakes. I was not the best boyfriend at times, She had to talk to me about reassuring her a lot and making sure that I prioritized her, and I definitely didn't do that enough. And I feel like every relationship you learn from the last one and you try and better yourself from the next one. So looking back on the relationship, there was definitely a lot of things that I didn't do right and didn't give her enough. And, I wasn't able to tick all those boxes for her easily. So I can definitely admit that. On the other side of the coin, like a relationship's not a one-way street. Like, there was obviously things on the other side that I wasn't like kind of getting as well. So it's a two-way dance. We both weren't doing enough to make the relationship work. So I can definitely understand, I'm not upset that the relationship ended. That's just a natural part of life. That happens with everything. What I'm upset is what happened after the breakup is where for me, like there was a level of disrespect towards me and my family that for me, if I broke up with someone or if I ended a friendship I would never treat someone that I cared about kind of like the way you like that. And for me, that was the hard part. Like the breakup, no hard feelings at all. Like we end and I even said like I really hope we can be friends and not waste all those amazing times we had together and that sort of stuff. So it was kind of post breakup where for me like I just didn't really understand like why it had to go down that path.
Can I ask honestly, like who started this? Would you even call it a feud? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I watched her YouTube video about the fallout of the relationship, and she didn't really say anything bad.
No, the YouTube she did was not bad at all.
Yeah, so was that like who started that whole thing?
So from my perspective and in my eyes, like the feud was started by her side of her social media posts. So,
Was there one particular one that you were just like, oh, hell no.
Oh, there was like, there was, I don't want to sound like salty because this is like, we've been broken up a year and a half now. So like, this is just my perspective and I'm not hung up on it or anything.
Yeah.
But for me, like, it wasn't just one social media post. Like it was like endless social media posts. So we were broken up a week and she posted about how she wanted to go on another dating show in the UK. She said, she goes, I wouldn't do like I wouldn't do a reality TV show here in Australia, but I'd love to do like Love Island UK or something like that in the United Kingdom. And I was kind of like, oh, that's a little like punch in the guts. Like, fuck, you already want to do another dating show.
Yeah.
And then there was like another one where I uploaded a photo of a story of my nephew who was like 6 months old at the time. And I've had a lot of problems with my sister and our relationships. And I was working on that and working to be in my nephew's life. And I uploaded a photo like with my nephew, and then a day later she uploaded a TikTok saying when guys use babies to try and pull chicks and stuff, and she had a pillow and she was like, yeah, ha ha ha, like the hoes gonna love this, that sound. And then she tossed the pillow away and was like, fuck you, I don't care about you. And then so my sister was like bawling her eyes out. My sister called her and was like, how dare you like use my baby as a pawn in like this social media game. And then, you know, she denies it and said, oh, it wasn't about Josh, it was about anything. And then there was just heaps of stuff that came up. And then, you know, it was just endless TikToks and, you know, podcasts and YouTubes and Instagram stories and all this stuff that kind of like, for me, like I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't posting a TikTok. I wasn't posting a story. I did one podcast talking about how we broke up.
Exactly.
That for me was pretty respectful. And it was just like giving the details because everyone kept asking. So it's like an endless waterfall of like social media posts that I was like, why? Why do you have to keep talking about me and my family? And I messaged her saying like, can you please stop posting about me? Like it's actually really hurtful. And her response was, you need to stop being so sensitive.
Oh, that's the worst line.
And if anyone, you know, thinks that I'm lying, like I've got the screenshots, I've got the WhatsApp chats of, you need to stop being so sensitive. Get over it. I'm not talking about you. I never mention your name. I just say an ex. And I'm like, every time you say an ex,
It's been 4 years.
we've been in a public relationship. Like it obviously is, people are going to think it's directed at me. And most of the time it was. And, you know, then I posted, it got to a point where, you know, I lost my cool and I kept saying to my mum and my parents, I was like, oh, I'm going to upload something. And they're like, don't, just try and be the bigger person.
Yeah.
And I eventually just like, you know, I lost my cool. I let like my emotions get the better of me. And I posted a TikTok kind of like, you know, getting her back or whatever, you know, super immature. And I posted a TikTok that was like, you know, something along the lines of like, when your girlfriend was super insecure about you and, you know, she was never like, she always needed you to reassure her in the relationship and she was always like unsure about if you truly loved her. And then, you know, she's dating a new guy a couple of weeks later.
Yeah.
You know, which was super immature of me. And it was kind of like stooping to like an immature level. And that was wrong of me to do. And, you know, I'm not proud of that, but it started to like go viral and that wasn't my intentions. But to be fair, like as soon as I did that, there was never another disrespectful social media post from
You
her.
done ended it.
That kind of like ended it.
You done ended the beat.
So like, you know, that sort of stuff, it's super toxic and
I
it's really like, you know, I know this generation 2023, people love the beef and the TikTok arguments and the fights. Like that's what, you know, people still come up to me today and be like, bro, that TikTok was amazing. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was so toxic. Like,
exactly, man.
They're like, do another one. I'm like, no. So like, you know, I hate that it stooped to that level of immaturity. But yeah.
You know, boy, and you know, there's a saying, man, that my Grass said this one time. She was like, you know, if you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. You know, and it's like, you know, it's really what just comes with, you know, the smoke of being in this game. You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's so hard, man, like when you really look at the way that you know, people that work in social media and they're dating and they're both influencers, the fights can be very toxic, man. You know what I mean? And like when a relationship should be a two-handed circle, everyone has got their hands in it, you know what I'm saying? And then like now you also have to deal with like the comments of people that are taking her side and like yours, you know what I mean? Like it just gets messy, man. But look, man, I'm happy that you're okay now. That's the main thing. You doing good?
Yeah, I'm sweet. And like, you know what? She apologized to me like months after kind of all her social media posts and said she's super sorry and she realizes that kind of, you know, some of the stuff wasn't great. So we kind of hashed it out, but then like we kind of went back again on social media.
Oh,
So
man.
I don't know. I don't even know where we stand. She probably hates me, but I don't hate her. Like I genuinely hope, you know, I hope for the best, but
It is what
you know,
it is.
I don't want to act salty, but I've got like a mic drop like knowledge, but I just can't drop it because
You
it
can't drop it?
looks so salty. It
Yeah,
looks so
yeah.
bad. Like, yeah. Anyways, we're just gonna like
That's
move forward, and
it's a safe
we're not
space.
you know, we don't talk anymore. So you know,
Yeah.
I don't
okay.
know where her head's at. Maybe I have to get her on here and ask her.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, you're right. Listen, man, so how does it make you feel like seeing, you know, your friends getting settled, you know, like they're getting engaged, you know, people getting babies? How does that kind of make you feel?
You know what, man? Like I used to get heaps hung up about it. I used to be like, oh my God, I'm 30 now. Like I haven't found anyone. But for me, like I love my life. I've got an amazing life. You know, I'm really lucky to be able to do what I do. And if someone comes along that fits into my life, then obviously I'm so stoked. I'm so happy. And that would be amazing. But at the same time, I'm not going to stress myself out about like, oh my God, like I haven't found anyone again. It's been another month, you know, like I feel like that can really play with your head and ultimately make it even harder to find someone because you're kind of constantly in that state of mind where you think you need to find someone so people can pick up on that
That
energy.
definitely.
So-
well, I love your TikToks.
Kind of cringe, but thank you.
No,
we're
they're
not-
not.
they're relatable.
Super relatable
Very.
as someone that's just gone back on the dating scene after the show. So mine's like post 2 years now post my show. And it's, as you would know, it's hard being in the public eye and then going back on the apps and everyone knows who you are and you don't know, like, are you wanting to get to know me or like TV me sort of thing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how have you navigated the whole dating scene since?
Yeah, it is really hard to find who's genuine and who's not. And people think like, oh, you went on Love Island or Maths or whatever it is, you must get a load of girls or guys who want to be with you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. And I'm like, you do obviously get a little bit noticed here and there. Like we're not, we're not superstars or whatever. We were on an Australian TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Yeah.
We all still work and stuff. Like, we're not like Brad Pitt walking down the street, just like, yo, who wants $1 million? Like, you guys want $1 million? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like Oprah or something. So, like, at the same time, it's not that much different to when I was single before the show. Like, if anything, I think that it makes it a little bit harder.
Most definitely,
to find people genuine to go on a date with. And, so I don't know. Navigating, you've just got to have a good, I guess, radar.
Man, like the dating apps though, man, it's tough out there, man. Because like they already know, like
It's a war zone.
Yeah,
It's
most
a war
definitely.
zone. Love's a battlefield, as they say.
Yeah, so true. Is
Are you-
that how you're, meeting people though through apps, or how is that going?
I'm not really on the apps. Hey, like
yeah.
I don't know. Like I just struggle with the apps. It's just like you look at a photo and you swipe yes or no. Like something about that just doesn't really
Really?
feel
Yeah.
how.
I
I
get
don't
it.
know. Something about that just creates this weird energy of like no, yes, no, yes, no. It's like what? That's like I don't know if that's natural.
Yeah, true.
For me, like I just like to meet people in real life.
In person
you
as
know?
well, yeah, for real.
I feel like you could pick up on their energy and stuff in real
definitely,
life.
bro.
So I don't like. Do you guys prefer real life or the apps?
Oh, definitely real life. Well, that's why I
definitely.
picked maths.
Come on.
Wait,
Well, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
I just got to a point for me, and that's why I love your TikToks because you speak a lot about ghosting.
Yeah.
And I was always the girl that was getting ghosted. I was a workaholic. I never had time to like constantly go on these like serial dates. And I feel like when you're putting yourself out there as a single person, you have to.
Yep.
You have to have a roster now, you know?
You actually, no, it's true though.
Your girl didn't have the time to do that back then when I was full-time hairdressing. So
Wow.
yeah, that's
The
why
roster.
that's why I picked Married at First Sight, because you got married at first sight.
Straight up, you just jump over.
They're like they're legally,
skipped all
legally
those
bounded
dates.
to me. You can't ghost me
Yeah.
now. If you
Everything
ghost
in between.
me, like,
I'll find you.
I will find you. What's that movie?
Liam Nielsen.
Wedding Crashes. I'll find you. Can we do that TikTok? We can put you in the red hair.
Imagine
I will
that.
find you.
Is that like Lil Chucky or something? But so as much as you talk about ghosting and like as much as your content is relatable, is there some truth to this?
Yeah.
Like, are you a ghoster yourself? Yeah, he is. Look at
like depends. Like sometimes I feel like if you're only speaking to someone, like define like ghosting, is ghosting only when you know someone, or is it ghosting just when you're like talking to someone and you never met them and you're just like,
Yeah, when you start talking to someone, yeah,
exist
absolutely.
anymore.
It's like, I'm just going to act like I was never here.
yeah, I mean,
Bye.
like that Simpsons one where you just go into the
The bushes, bro. Toodaloo.
like ghosting's really, really bad, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest, I have done it before and like I feel like a bit of a piece of shit for doing that. But like at the same time, what's worse? Honest question. Someone who ghosts you or someone who says, hey, look, I'm not really interested? Like they're both gonna hurt, right?
I know, but I'd rather
You'd rather know?
know, because
Yeah.
then I can work on myself and walk
Yeah.
away feeling like, okay, it wasn't me. He's just not looking for a relationship or whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't really do it much anymore, but I
Yeah.
have done it in the past, We
Man.
learn from our mistakes. Come on, we grow
It's
up.
like
we
I
get
don't
more
do it
mature.
much anymore. It's still there, but I haven't cut it off completely. If the formula works, don't cut it off.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
You bastard.
That wasn't achieving like nothing. No, I don't do it anymore. I used to do it because, I can't even give you a good reason. I'm like, but now, yeah.
Let me ask something, man. So,
Yeah.
like, would you rather now date someone that's kind of like in the social media field, like, or like, would you just rather date someone that, doesn't influence, like, doesn't do all that?
I want to date someone as
Reality TV
famous
stuff.
as possible and as rich as possible. No.
Let's get the cash. Let's get the money.
You got cash? Reach out to me. We got to have at least 4 mil in the bank. I want a screenshot of your bank account. Send it to me, and then we may go on a date. You're paying though as well. No, of course. Look, for me, I don't really care if you've got money, if you've got fame, if you've got a great job. Like, a connection's a connection. I don't really think you can come with a list of criteria, because when you find a connection with someone, all that stuff is secondary, I feel. So for me, like, I don't have a full list of what I'm looking for. You know, I'm looking for someone that just finds a genuine connection. So do you think these days people are more focused on money and fame than a genuine connection, like the old school days?
Everything's very quick, man. That's what I feel like, you know what I mean? And it's like social media doesn't make it any easier. You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, everybody wants something nice. You know what I mean? And I think like it's definitely like a commitment, you know, and it's an investment of time and energy as well. You know what I mean? So I think like when you really do come down to it, like you start looking at how much time you actually have to invest in that person and put money aside and everything else. That's kind of difficult sometimes, you know what I mean? But if I was a sugar mama right now, Joshie, and I said, I've got a yacht, all I need is for you to just walk in the streets of Berlin with me, just hold my hand, we'll go on the yacht, and I'll pay you on a weekly basis. What would you say?
Let's go tomorrow.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love Germany. My favorite country in the world. You're speaking my language.
See? But you don't have to invest all that time. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a lot of stuff that you cut in between.
But like, if something like that, that's just like a bit of fun. That's not something serious. Why am I saying
Josh, you're trying to catch your ass out.
You are. You're catching out. No, I'm not like, you know, that sounds fun, but like... But let's be real. I'm not going to lie. That sounds like a bag of fun. A yacht in Berlin, though? Like, maybe you could have picked Greece or somewhere a bit different.
I don't know,
like,
man. It just
Berlin?
is the first thing that
That's
came in.
very specific.
My bad.
Have you ever had a sugar mama or a sugar dada approach you guys?
I get messages all
Honest.
the time about,
Actually.
do you want to be my sugar baby? But I think they're spam. They can't be real.
Really?
Yeah.
You've tried? Like,
No way.
Does it look like a fake account?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
So not, but if you,
It's not
okay,
legit.
question, if you genuinely had like good looking-ish dude, like older, maybe like 55, 60, rich, got the yacht in Berlin, like Taku said, and he said, let's go for 2 weeks in Europe on me, like, would you consider that or not really?
I don't know.
don't give me
Old
political.
me would have definitely said no, but right now, where I'm at,
What the hell's happening?
eating my 2-minute noodles, you know, hustling, I'm like, maybe. Let's get back on track. I want to know, like, what your non-negotiables are, and I hate bringing it back to you and Amelia, but you said, like,
whatever.
you know, she wasn't able to give you what you needed, as well as you weren't able to fulfill her needs as well. Like, what are your non-negotiables now?
What are my non-negotiables? I think my non-negotiables are someone that, you know, has the same morals, someone who has the same life goals as you, someone who, you know, you can see a future with, you know, not just like, oh, I'm going to ignore these 3 things because this person's amazing. Like, no, we're at the age now where, like, you can't really ignore stuff like that. You need to really sit down and talk with the person about where you're, you know, want to go further in life. So to be more specific, I guess someone that, like, you know, you can have a laugh with, you don't take yourself too serious. Someone that is, like, slightly, you know, working towards something. Like, you don't have to be a millionaire on a yacht, but, like, you know, you're motivated and, like, you've got a career and, you know, stuff like that. And I guess, like...
What specifically about what she needed from you and you needed from her that you guys just couldn't? Like, you've never said and specified what you needed from her?
Yeah, so like we didn't want the same things for, like, our kids and stuff moving down the line. Like, we had very different opinions on our kids and that sort of stuff. And I guess, you know, we were raised differently, but that doesn't ultimately make a massive difference. But I guess, you know, she didn't really get along with a lot of my friends. You know, that was that was a big thing. You know, and I'm not sitting here saying that, you know, my friends were, you know, made the biggest effort with her. You know, if it's not just her, like, this isn't me crapping on her. You know, she was great for so many different qualities, but she would probably admit this as well. Like, there were so many things, like, you know, her life, she wants, you know, as I said before, she wants to travel and live in London and do modeling over there, and that's amazing. But, like, for me, like, I kind of want to set up a future and then kind of do some traveling and stuff like that. So I feel like there was a lot of,
like, fundamentals.
And there, like, for me, like, there was some unrealistic expectations on the relationship. And that wasn't her complete fault because we met in Spain on Love Island. You know, we
Yeah.
met on a high, but you know, for like one of our anniversaries, you know, I took her to. Oh, this is gonna. I took her to like Fiji, and you know, I stayed at a really expensive hotel, and you know, it was all. You know, it was really nice. It was the top 4 hotels in Fiji.
Wow.
And, you know, I hate to kind of like pull the curtain back, but she was disappointed in that. You know, she wanted to go to Mykonos. And for me, that was really hard to take. And it was, but this famous couple went to Mykonos and they did it. And I'm like, oh, like,
Wow.
I just felt like there was a
Okay.
lot of times I couldn't meet those expectations. You know, like I went to a picnic before and for for Valentine's Day, and I like made her all this food, and she was vegan, so like that in
Yeah.
itself was like tricky-ish. And it was kind of like, oh, you didn't like make the vegan balls from scratch. It's kind of like you store-bought it, and then I was just like, so all this stuff was kind of like really hard for me to meet those expectations. So I want someone that's a little bit more like, you know, I guess appreciative when I'm putting in the effort. But to go flip the coin, like I didn't meet her expectations as well. So I don't want to just sit here and be like,
Yeah.
she's a horrible person. Because I definitely didn't live up to what she wanted as well. You know, she wanted someone who really did sentimental things. You know, she wanted someone to make a photo album and write all the amazing times that we had together and do special things like that. And, you know, buy her gifts that meant sentimental things and, you know, what else? Like really prioritize her and make her feel like a queen. And I wasn't able to do that. So I'm at fault just as much as her. You know, I didn't do things that live up to her expectations. So I don't want to sit on this podcast and be like, she's terrible, she's horrible. You know, she's not a horrible person at all.
Yeah.
She's an amazing person. And I didn't meet her expectations in that side of the thing, in that side of the coin as well. So it's a two-way street.
Absolutely,
We kind of,
man.
we both would sit here now and we would both just say it just wasn't going to work long term. So, yeah, but I don't want to sit here and be like, you know,
No, but I love how you took accountability
Yeah,
for
that's
100%.
growth,
I was
accountability.
not perfect as well. So it was a two-way
Yeah.
street, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, accountability.
Yeah.
I like that.
Keyword.
That's a key word, bro. I think, and also, you know what though, like a lot of guys can definitely, you know, benefit from hearing that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of us kind of go, you know, it's so easy for us to just quickly go, I want to be the one to be understood, but not the one to understand. If that makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah.
Preach.
You know, like, and a
Yeah.
lot of times it's like, you know, we always feel the pain, you know what I mean, that's coming, you know, and that's being, you know, directed towards us. But like, you also kind of need to step back and say, fuck, man, I wasn't the perfect, you know,
No,
boyfriend
not
as
at
well.
all.
And,
Not at
you
all,
know, because
yeah.
it's like, we only love the way that we know how to,
True.
you know,
Yeah.
and we only love the way that we want to receive love as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, man, like that's just, you know, a point of growth right there, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying for the next relationship. Like, there's definitely things I want to do differently.
That's what's up, man.
You know, I wonder if I'm going to cop a crazy message or something. I don't
After
know.
this?
Probably.
No,
Probably.
I mean, I just I hate bringing that up, but yeah, you know, like because you saying that she needed reassurance, I'm thinking as a woman, I'm like that's what all us women
Exactly,
need.
One, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So, you know, and another thing that she wanted me, you know, she wanted to talk about kids and marriage and stuff like that, and I probably wasn't as open to the conversation as
okay.
well. So,
Okay.
you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to cop it. I'm trying to just be open and honest.
this
So
is
I'm
good.
not, I'm not
But
trying
this
to
is
like create
good.
an agenda or something like
Absolutely
that. So.
not.
Because you're not only just saying your side either.
Yeah. So
Most definitely,
I don't
bro.
know. Who knows what's going to happen?
Let's take a bit of a turn, man. Let's talk about the podcast. Let's take a bit of a turn because, whoa. I saw my man want to get a bottle of water. Hey,
Oh my God.
talk to me, man. How did you and Mikey become friends, by the way?
Me and Michael went to a lot of events in Sydney. You know, it's kind of a small industry, I guess. And we would always be at the events and, you know, we'd always see these influencers and stuff and we'd be like, oh, this is like wank jobs. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, oh my God, like kill me now. I can't stand seeing this crap, you know, like.
Yeah.
And we'd always have a laugh and a joke about all the people
Yeah.
you see at these, you know, the influencers or whatever. Like, you know, we'd have a laugh and we'd have fun and we'd chill together. And after a while, we kept seeing each other. And then I said, you know, maybe we should like put a microphone in front of us when we're talking
Yeah.
and do it. And we tried a couple of episodes and we actually weren't really good friends, like when we started.
Oh, that's interesting.
We weren't good friends at all. And then, like, as the podcast grew and we kept doing episodes, you kind of see our friendship grow and
Yeah.
the episodes get better. So that's kind of how it all started. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I think that's the secret sauce when the two worlds collide, maths and Love Island.
Come on now. Tell me about, you know, the show ending, man. Like, that was,
So
you know,
sad.
man. I'm
So
sorry to hear, bro.
sad, yeah. So Michael was away in Europe and it was just really hard on the time zones, and then he came back, and some personal stuff happened with him, like nothing crazy, but like just some personal stuff that really took his attention away from being able to work on the podcast. And he moved to Melbourne, like I don't know, 8 months ago to help raise his baby. So that we were always doing an episode remotely, so not in the same room, and it's really hard to find that connection. So we've just gone on a bit of a pause at the moment. We're going to reassess in like a week or 2-3 weeks and just see where we're both at with the podcast. But it is really sad because we had built a really great community.
Yeah.
I loved the show, and I'm really passionate about doing a podcast. So it is a bit sad, but also he's in Melbourne. Like it's so hard to keep that going. Like I'd have to do the show in my bedroom. Yeah. Like because I've got to. Anyways, there's only carpet in my bedroom, sound tech things. And
my bad.
And I have to set up everything, and I'm in my bedroom, and it's like small and it's hot, and it's just not a vibe, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So we've just pressed the pause button now, and we're going to look at some options moving forward. So hopefully we can get it back up and running for the handbaggers out there. So
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
yeah.
Well, look, my man, listen. So we've got a game that we usually play. It's called That's Dicey. Okay? Spicy Dicey. So
It can't get worse than anything we've already spoken
I'm
about.
telling
So
you,
like,
bud.
let's just like whatever.
yeah, well, buckle up.
I felt like I brought the heat today.
You did,
Sorry,
man.
Joshy. He's like sculling his water. Like, wiping
Taku
his
was
sweat.
like, we were talking about, he's like, can you come on the show? And then he was going to like talk about what we were going to ask. And I was like, you know what, man, ask me whatever the hell you want. Because a lot of people won't know when you get a podcast guest in, a lot of them are like, what are you going to talk about? Give me the list of questions. Like, and they're very like, and I'm like, let's just be real. Like, open and
definitely,
honest.
bro.
Who cares? Like,
That's
let's
what it's
just go
about,
in
bro.
for it.
Exactly.
We appreciate that. So the way that That's Dicey works is we'll give you a pair of dice to roll, and we'll ask you a question that correlates to the number it lands on. You down or what?
I mean,
Roll the
I'm here. I have
You
to
here
be
now?
down. I can't
Yeah.
say no.
He's like, nah,
I'm
guys,
not
I gotta
down.
go.
I'm not down.
Roll that shit.
All right, here we go. 4.
It's you, my man.
All right. Oh, actually, I think we were asked this one, but I'll just ask again.
Yeah.
You make a lot of meme style videos with text, right? How much truth is it to them, or are they strictly just jokes?
On my TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
For example,
Oh, he's got receipts.
I'm on receipts, bro.
I was like about to answer. It's like, hold up. Oh no.
For example, how about this one? You go, when your ex doesn't trust you ever. You know what I'm talking
We're going
about?
straight into this one.
But starts dating the guy she met.
Is the dice game just rubbish? You were just going to ask me this, whatever number it landed on?
No. What the hell?
This is for real.
Let me finish this. When your ex doesn't trust you ever, but starts dating a guy she met whilst you were still together two and a half weeks after you break up.
That one.
That's just a meme, huh?
That one was like, yeah, there was some truth behind that. And we already spoke about that. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
we
kind
did.
of like me, losing my cool and getting a bit immature. Whether it was 2.5 weeks or 3.5 or 4, it was very soon after we broke up.
Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't 2.5 weeks. That was slightly exaggerated, but it was very, very soon after we broke up. And there is some more info to that I just don't know. I can't drop it now. It's too late, but there's a mic drop moment about more info on that, but I just don't feel it's my place to rehash all this stuff. So
Totally understand.
maybe she'll talk about it one day.
Okay, we'll
Bring
get
her
her
on
the
and
show.
ask her.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Roll again.
Roll again. All right. 8.
Oh, okay. What's the last date you went on? Who was it with, and what did you do?
What was the last date I went on? Wow, I'm trying to think. The last date I went on, this is going to sound so bad. Oh, no.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. Come on, Joshy.
the
Or are
last
you trying to
proper-
decipher which one to talk about?
I feel like that, eh?
Yeah.
All right, screw it. All right, the last date I went on was with a girl in Melbourne. It was probably like 6 to 7, no, maybe like, 6-7 weeks ago. It was with a girl, and we went to like an art show in Melbourne at night. It was like a light show, and she was actually on another TV show, a Channel 9 show. So, do you want me to tell you the name?
Yes, please.
All right. It was a girl who was on Beauty and the Geek. Her name's Heidi Mitchell.
Oh my God.
So yeah, this is an open and honest chat. I'm just giving,
I
I'm just
keep
giving everything
hearing
away.
about this chick, man.
Wait,
She
really?
is like hot commodity.
Really?
know,
Who
man.
tells you about it?
Yeah.
God, don't worry about that. That's supposed to know for you to
Well,
find
I
out.
have
But
to be completely open and honest. You're like, hey, sorry, man.
But the guy that was telling me about her, he's now in a healthy, happy relationship. So I
With
can't-
her?
No, not with her.
I was like, oh my God.
So now I can't.
I was like, oh wow,
Yeah,
okay, this
sorry,
is just
sorry.
this is like the heat's getting turned up now. Oh, like, what is going on?
So I can't go into John's house.
I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, not with her.
Okay,
But he was telling me how like everyone wanted to date her. Like he wanted in on that as well.
who's the guy?
Yeah, but I can't say because now he's in a relationship, and she would kill him.
Really?
Yes, if I said something.
Hey, man, God damn. That's a lot of beef going on. Anyway.
I was tossing up whether to be honest there, but I've been honest
Thank
the whole
you.
show.
You
so I'm like,
have.
Okay. No, you
Respect.
actually have been.
Huge respect.
all right, another one. Here we go. I actually like this game. It's kind of funny.
Beautiful.
9.
I like this.
It can't
9.
get any worse, surely.
Would you try breast milk if it was from your partner? Because you didn't want to try Martha's.
That was so funny.
You didn't want to try Martha's, didn't you? Nah,
Look, I don't know if it's because it's Martha's. Everyone's like, why do you want to drink Martha's breast milk? I'm like, it's got nothing to do with Martha. It's not because it's her breast milk. I just don't know. Apparently, it's healthy for you. It's really
Yeah,
got
it's really
lots
good.
of
Bodybuilders do that,
nutrients.
yeah, absolutely.
Bodybuilders
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I mean, I do want to get more jacked.
see right there.
You
Lots
know
of
what?
peptides.
Next time I'm presented with breast milk, I would drink it.
Wow.
If you guys had breast milk here, I'd drink
My
it.
best friend is pregnant right now. We went to the baby expo and I saw these breast pumps and shit, but I'd be willing to try her breast milk.
God damn.
Is that all good? Like, if a guy drank breast milk, is that like a major ick or something?
I
you know,
don't
there's
think
you know the
so.
ick list? You know the ick
Yeah,
list?
yeah,
yeah.
It'd be like, oh my God, I saw my partner drink someone's
Another-
breast milk.
another
New
breast milk,
ick
yeah.
unlocked.
Yeah.
You icked unlocked. Yeah,
Never heard of that one before.
I would drink breast milk. So
Yeah.
if someone gives me breast milk on the street, I'll drink it.
Guys,
We got to
did you
call
hear
Martha
that?
first, though.
Yeah.
So that you can prove that it's just because it's not Martha's.
Martha was seriously offended I didn't drink her breast milk.
That's
I would
fuck
be
yeah.
too.
She was like, your mouth has been in way worse places
Yeah.
than on this breast milk.
Come on now.
This be true.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Oh, we'll roll it again. Okay. 6.
When did you last slide into someone's DMs? We want the spicy ones, not just me.
When did I last slide into someone? Like
spiciest
just
ones.
out of the blue.
Yeah.
Sometimes I slide into heaps famous people's DMs just for a
Actually.
laugh. Yeah, all the time.
Just for a laugh.
all the
Really?
time. Yeah, all the time.
Like who?
Do you want me to just pull them up?
Yeah,
Yes?
of course.
All right. Like just as a bit of a laugh, you know.
Yeah, sure.
This guy's a
He's
practical.
low
he's a
key like
practical joke
hoping,
about.
yeah. Low key hopes that they reply though.
Of course, man.
No, they don't. Sometimes they don't really, to be honest. All right, so I was in Melbourne, and I was out at one of the nightclubs there, and we were on a table with like all the Nelk boys and stuff like that. And Katie Sigmund was there, and I had about a 10-minute chat with her. And I don't know, she was really cool and whatnot. So after that, I decided to slide in because I was like, I'll just shoot my shot.
Yeah.
And I just sort of said, hey, it was good to meet you here. I've accidentally found my way into your DMs. I'm not sure what to do now. No response.
Did she open it? Was it like
No,
some scene?
not seen. Not seen. So a little bit of my...
That's good. That's not an L. That's not an L.
That's not a
Exactly.
total L.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, she's got like 3 million followers. So, I mean, you got to shoot your shot, you know.
Most definitely.
100%.
But I'm just trying to think if someone's super famous. Like, I've got a lot of influencers and stuff that I've like reached out to. Yeah.
Oh, there's something.
I've got one. Okay. I'm actually glad I found this. So back in the day, I used to watch like a lot of reality TV, like X on the Beach, Celebrity Big Brother,
Yep.
you know, all that sort of stuff. And there was this one girl that I always had a huge crush on. She was a little bit of a hot wire. She used to lose her crap. And I just thought I found that super attractive. Did you guys watch X on the Beach and stuff like that?
I didn't.
So it's this girl called Megan McKenna. She was on like X on the Beach. She was on like Celebrity Big Brother. She was on some like singing show. She's engaged now, so this was like a year ago or whatever.
Rachel McKinnon?
Megan McKenna.
Oh, whoops.
Megan McKenna. She's like big in the UK. She's got like a couple million followers. And I was trying to think of a DM that would like set me apart from like the rest.
Yeah.
And she's super into her country music. So like, all right, like I'll try and like, you know, play on, like use that. So I said, I've never been into country music, but I came across a song of yours and really liked it. So I started listening to more of your music and vibed it. Just wanted to let you know that you now have an Aussie listener. I'm keen to hear more of your stuff.
Wow.
Aww.
That's sweet, though.
Yeah.
That's a nice sweet
She
one.
responded.
Yeah.
Yeah, she responded. She followed me and she was like liking and commenting on all my stuff. And then she responded and we were chatting for a bit. But now she's dating this famous rugby player and it never really worked out. But
Does this correlate with your imagination ship TikTok?
Yes. I'm so bad with my imagination ships. Like, I will start talking to a girl and straight away I will be like head on the pillow at night and I'll be like, how does my last name sound with her name? What type of wedding dress would she wear? Where would we get married? I feel like she's a European country, Italy type of girl. Like, yeah, that could work. Like,
I love
head on the
this.
pillow.
I love
Done,
this.
bro.
It's like
Because I've never heard another man talk about this.
Serious?
Yeah, and labeling it imagination ship. I just thought that was so clever because I've never heard of that before.
I do it badly. I don't know what that means. Like, if like.
Because only girls do that.
Absolutely.
I do it bad. Like I'll talk to one girl, like one couple DMs, and I'll be imagining like a full life with them.
Come on, hey,
love
you need to
that.
manifest.
Yeah.
I know. I've got a couple more.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of like super funny ones that I've sent to people. Like I sent one to a girl once with like, you know those like hypnotism like circle things?
Yeah. The ones that are, it's like a GIF.
It's like a GIF, and
Yeah.
I sent one of them first, and then below it I said, "You will fall in love with me. We will have a major
Josh,
connection. We will go on a first date next week."
That worked?
She responded, but we never went on the date. I
Okay,
thought it was
okay.
kind of
God
funny.
damn. Let's top it off there, man, because we got some more story to talk about maybe off camera. But listen, man, it was amazing. You know, this is beautiful, man. Thank you so much for making the time to come through and see us, bro.
No, thank you
you,
guys for having me.
Joshy.
It's,
For real,
it was a
for
lot
real.
of fun, and you guys are doing great stuff, so
We appreciate that, man.
Love
Appreciate
you.
that. Guys, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
You.